Okay. After a start filled with technical difficulties due to Verizon Wireless making it nearly impossible to empty your cloud so that you buy new storage from them, I'm starting over.
Your leadership for not delivering more of the goods for him in Congress?
Well, put that over there, and I'll have to, could take the next half hour to settle in and calm down from that.
To help him, and now we have a Republican Party that's got to be able to get it together so that this president can continue to grow the economy. Listen, we've got to get health care done, we've got to get tax reform done, and we've got to get the infrastructure plan across the borderline, and then we're going to see this economy
behind me now.
And it's Congress that's going to have to do it, and the Democrats have to take some of that blame as well.
By the way, you mentioned health care and the tax cut thing in that order. Are you among those? Is that's the way it's got to be done? Hook or crook, you got to do the health care thing?
No, I'm not.
Glad to hear that.
That has to be the dominoes, because unfortunately we don't get the health care done. If you believe that, then the rest of the dominoes go down with it, right? Tax reform and infrastructure. And, so I don't believe that, no.
Okay. We'll watch closely. Congressman, thank you very, very much.
All my glasses are out in my car. Okay, here you are, my car.
It's very, very important. And if you think about it as well, it's the only stimulus game in town, right? We have the Federal Reserve that now is trying to work off that $4 trillion balance sheet. And if anything, high rates, you're going to lose stimulus there from the Federal Reserve. So the only game in town, tax cuts. Like Stuart Varney says, that's the game they should be focused on. Stuart's next.
Have you ever heard of Uber or Lyft? Of course you have. Now what if you were an early investor in Uber or Lyft? What would you be worth today? Uber went to a $68 billion valuation in just 6 years. Lyft went to a $9 billion valuation in just 4 years. And all of the early investors made millions, if not tens of billions, with just a modest investment. Now, are you interested in investing in initial public offerings, but you never got to participate because the banks and the institutions scooped up all the stock? Well, the future is here today in Yayo. Yes, Yayo. It's the first meta-search for the ride-sharing industry, where users can compare prices and the distance of the rides with companies like Uber and Lyft, and then book directly. We're excited to announce an initial public offering. You might never have thought that you'd be able to have a chance to invest in the new millennium movement of ride-sharing. But with these new SEC rules, it makes it possible for the little guy like you or me to buy into an IPO previously unavailable. You see, meta-search popularity is absolutely exploding. In travel, Kayak has become a dominant travel search company. Trivago quickly became the world's largest hotel search engine. Meta-search creates additional value for users, and it gives them alternatives and flexibility. And because of Yayo's business model, Yayo can scale faster than any one of these ride-sharing companies can alone. Now, have you ever wanted to invest in a hyper-growth tech company?
By the way,
but with the new SEC investment rules, it gives you a chance to invest a certain amount
check
of money before a larger
on the first one.
But the offer is limited.
Neil Cavuto said to verify the truth. Okay?
As I said, a limited offer. So go to Yayo,
From a higher source. Giving me a voice. I hear it in the media. It's a huge honor. We're checking out. Nothing has been seen like this in biblical times, and I get emotional thinking about that. As I told my family that I would prove this years ago and hauled off and didn't do enough to make it happen. For the open-minded, it'll be a fairly simple thing to see. The truth will set me free, and it's about you. Media, please repeat. Let's go to probably take me the next, it's 7:33, probably take me at least the next couple of hours to really get in a frame of mind to coordinate with these guys. It always does. at least 2 hours,
earlier with Kennedy that we grew
which is fine.
7% of the first 3 months of the year. That's as anemic as we get here. The slowest growth we've experienced in about 4 years. And if you argue the Federal Reserve is out of the stimulus business,
that's not good for the
tax cuts. Stuart Varney has been all over this, relentlessly so. We're going to right now. Stuart, now the argument is, no, we got to get this health care thing done first. Whatever concessions are made on the part of the Freedom Caucus to get their votes, tip-off moderate, so they don't seem to be making much progress there. We just heard from a congressman who was just saying, look, we get to a point where that gets to be divisive, move on to tax cuts. Will they?
I don't care, Neil. I think the Republican Party has to come together and get going with tax cuts. That'll
around the health care fixation for that.
Look, if you can fix it, if you can do it, if you can unite around that, okay, all right, walk away from it, please. There's far more important stuff on the table, and that is getting this country moving again. Now, the president has inherited an economic mess. I mean, you were saying, what, 0.7%?
It says here it's had 100 days of disruption.
That's a mess.
That is a mess.
He's got to clean it up. How do you clean it up?
Clean it
Best
up.
way? Middle-class tax cuts, and that's exactly what he has proposed. I think that the 15% maximum tax rate on small businesses, you know, the pass-through returns at Subchapter S, that's extremely important. That goes from 39% top rate to 15% top rate for the people who are creating jobs and creating the business environment of America. Give it to them. Get that done. I think the president is telling the Republican Party, this is baseline. Get that tax cut for small business and for anybody else who can. Get that tax cut bill.
Get that tax rate going. I'm going to track how many people repeat. Maybe that'll impress you. That would just be every single one of them, by the way.
B, I say get on and cut taxes. Okay, it would be nice if you could pay for it, but I don't think you can.
Now, didn't he propose a bill when that has to pass? Is that where it's at?
But there are some diehards in the party that say, if you make the deficit worse before it presumably gets better, you're violating a central party treaty.
Hi, sweetie.
We will not do with Barack Obama.
Should I wake her up yet?
Then turn to the Democrats and say, okay, they won't do this. You want re-election, 10 members of Democrats in the Senate. You want re-election next year. Get on board with me. Or you tell me what is your growth plan. What is the Democrats' growth plan? I don't know. Do you know what it is? Because I do not know what it is.
I know they're very worried about deficits and debt right now.
Well, really? That's cute.
Yeah.
That is cute. They run it from 10 trillion to 20 trillion, and they're worried about any more debt on top of it.
I always say it would be like me offering dietary advice. But having said that, I was reading this Tyler Crown of the New York Post today. You and I were chatting about it briefly during the break. His view is, while it would be nice, to your point, to pay for tax cuts, when you think about
what's happened?
1 or 2% to go into a little more debt to get the tax cuts.
This could be treacherous.
Invest that money and make at least 5 or 10% off it. We as Americans are getting a 5 to 10% return off our investment, which was wonderful when Barack Obama came back with the GM takeover.
Make sure I don't booby trap myself.
Do it with tax cuts.
Well, it's an interesting argument, I guess. I mean, we are going to run up the deficit. There's no way around it.
But you'll definitely get the revenue back later.
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
I think tax cuts, putting money out there, especially to the middle class, that raises the growth prospects down the road, that raises revenue to the Treasury down the road, just like Ronald Reagan did back in the great 1980s.
You know what I thought this president on is that he's not as steeped in pushing like Ronald Reagan was for his. And maybe it's because, he's obviously got a lot on his plate, but you could argue that if he were like banging heads, taking names, knowing the districts and details of every single representative, Democrat and Republican, like Ronald Reagan was doing, this could happen, and he could be essentially going over the heads of the establishment types who block him, even within his own party.
He's not that kind of guy.
No.
He's not that kind of guy. Ronald Reagan was that kind of president. Can I just say that it was Ronald Reagan, you knew I was going to say that, you knew I was going to get this in. Ronald Reagan's tax cuts allowed me to move up into America's middle class. I'd emigrated to America in the 1970s. I was married, 2 children, 1 on the way. Ronald Reagan cuts taxes. I got a good job, and that gave me a shot in the arm that allowed me to move up that food chain. He did it. tax cuts.
So we can blame him.
You blame him. But
So
what
you are being started today because of Ronald
That's
Reagan.
not true.
Like we go back in time.
Can I get a word in edgewise?
No.
See, this is my personal story, Neil. Wouldn't you like to do that for this generation of youngsters? I mean, youngsters 20 and 30-somethings. They're
So
just
they can keep
starting
more of
out.
their money.
So they keep more of their money. They, too, climb that food chain, just like I did and probably you did way back.
So then, real quickly, this boom to the rich, you keep hearing how, on your show, and you talk to people on this subject, how do you counter that argument?
Okay, it's not a giveaway to the rich. Richer people will benefit, that is true. But they only get their top rate cut from 39 to 35%.
Right.
Okay, it's a nice cut. It's not that much. And you will
By the
no
way, they'll
longer...
still be paying the lion's share of the taxes.
Yeah, of course they will. But they will no longer be allowed to deduct state income tax payments. That is huge for rich people.
Yeah.
You live in New York or
It's
California,
state,
you're paying a fortune in state income taxes.
Are you okay with
Which
it?
you will know, what? You can
Are
write it.
you okay with it?
Yes.
Okay.
Get this done. The centerpiece is the middle class tax cut. It's
Correct.
all important. Am I out of time? Have I
Possibly.
out of the table enough?
I'm not quite sure where you stand on these tax cuts, so but we'll try again.
You're not? Give me 30 seconds.
Stuart Varney, one of the nicest people in this business, by the way. And you know, I've known each other for many, many years, but it is funny. I mean, he's been consistent on this issue, greedy little capitalist that he is. All right, we have a lot more going on here. We're going to be hearing from the Secretary of Energy, Rick Perry, on all of this attention to things like tax cuts and all. There are other ways to boost the economy, and he says what's getting very little coverage is how the president is doing it via these executive orders of his. We'll explain it.
I just dropped the remote and all the batteries flew out.
Get Escape with great deals on great gear, like our huge selection of shorts for the whole family.
And I can't turn this down to talk to you until I fix it.
Do you have a life insurance policy you no longer need or can't
Convince
afford?
people
Now you can sell your policy
that
for an immediate payment.
We
there
bought
is
life insurance when our kids were young to protect their
the
future.
negative
Our youngest
energy
just turned 40. We no longer need
that's trying to
coverage.
block me
That got us to thinking about letting our policy go. So I did some research and called
getting this
Coventry
job
Direct.
done.
I learned that you could sell all or part of a life insurance policy, even a term life policy.
Sure.
Turns out, people have been selling policies like ours for the past 15 years. Who knew? We sold our policy.
The batteries
Now we have
rolled
money to help
underneath
with
the
the
refrigerator,
And to
so
add to our retirement.
let me
If you
get
have
the new one.
$100,000
I can
or
get it
more
out
life
of the
insurance,
package.
you may be a candidate to sell your policy.
Call 1-800-471-6800 or visit CoventryDirect.com for a free information pack. 1-800-471-6800.
Coventry Direct, redefining insurance.
I had like memory
I
foams
tried.
and other pillows, and I'd always wake up with neck pain. After sleeping on my pillow, I didn't wake up with the headaches. I was more aligned.
I didn't realize the connection between the pillow and sleep. When I switched to my pillow, I got a better night's sleep, and I love it.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of My Pillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs, and it holds that support all night long to take the pressure off your shoulders.
Oh boy. They were out there ready to perform. I wasn't. That's true. I told my story the other day. I'm going to repeat some of that. Kind of just points in my life where the road split, and I could have gone one way or the other, and more often than not, I went the other.
You can be incentivizing the economy and securing more jobs by reining in on some of the executive orders of your predecessor, as the president did just this week by expanding and taking away the regulations that were preventing more drilling in some of these protected areas. That's just part of the equation here, but it doesn't get a lot of attention what's been happening on the energy front. That is dramatically changing the prospect for jobs. And I'd like to say nothing of opening up a pipeline that had been shut down. That was then. This is now a whole new view toward energy and energy-related jobs now. We've got the Washington Examiner, Sarah Westwood, Democratic strategist, and former state senator, I think former state senator in Ohio, could break it out. And we've got President Trump's former campaign diversity outreach member, Brunel Donald Kay. All right, so Brunel, let me go to you first on this and this idea that while we focus on tax cuts, while we focus on incentives and that sort of thing, we lose sight of the fact that when the president rolls back some of these old regulations and executive orders of his predecessor, preventing, the energy, pipeline jobs and the like, that's incentivizing the economy, isn't it?
It is. Basically, Donald Trump, our president, when he ran for office, said that he was going to roll back these job-killing regulations that was strangling our economy. And I think it's amazing that he has followed through on that. That's the great thing about having a people position in office and not a politician. He's concerned about...
Why isn't it having any effect on
He's concerned
the
about
economy?
why people voted him into office, and he's followed through.
Lowest anemic growth period in 3 years.
Eventually going to descend on the White House to let their displeasure be known. Now, you could make the argument the president really doesn't care. Environmentalists have never been in his corner. Or should he be more concerned?
I think that obviously President Trump's priority, and understandably so, is stimulating the economy. And I have a message to my fellow Democrats, and I think that it's possible to actually be balanced and bring in regulation at the same time, not to destroy the environment. So I think we need to be pragmatic about that. But here's the thing. One more march is not going to change anything. I'm very fired up about this. If we want to be successful and actually make an impact, instead of paying $500 to come to Washington, D.C. for a weekend with a sign, how about we create a super PAC and actually run ads and do something that is tangible as opposed to just listening to our next talk. So, I think that if we want to make this really fast, we need to change our strategy.
The president has had a lot of difficulty with his own party in getting legislation through. He would have to so that's not particularly good, but it is worrisome, is it not, to an agenda that might run into more roadblocks with Republicans than Democrats?
Right. In a lot of ways, Congress has held the Trump agenda hostage in these first 100 days. We haven't seen a lot of movement on health care. I mean, that has been much more slow than I know President Trump would like. He said he was disappointed in it last night. Tax reform is just barely getting off the ground. He's finding that it is difficult to address these factions in the Republican Party that were sort of papered over when he won. We sort of forgot that the Republican Party had these divisions between these ideological movement conservatives, between moderate conservatives. The party is very diverse, and now those factions are coming into sharp relief when the Republican Party is trying to pass legislation that requires those different factions to come together. It is hard for someone like President Trump who doesn't subscribe to any one ideology to bring them together.
Brunel, I know it's going to go to his base.
going to profit him because he's a doer and a builder. He's doing what he said he would do. I think that right now Congress is doing F work right now while our president is doing A+ work. So I hope that they will get behind him like never before. We've got a builder in office. Let's work.
All right, guys. Thank you all very, very much. I just want to keep you posted on some of these other developments.
God bless America.
Indeed. Thank you again. All right. The president is out on a big dinner tonight with journalists. Now, why would he do that? Joe Piscopo has some ideas.
There are those who panic when the market makes a move. But if you're like us, you know that focus and the drive to do more will take you places you only dreamt of. We are a team, and we are driven to do more.
My bladder wake me up from my sweet dreams thanks to Tenor Tonight. Only Tenor overnight underwear with its secure barrier system gives you triple protection from leaks, odor, and moisture. Tenor lets you be you. Occasional constipation can be a pretty tough customer. The Colace is the #1 doctor-recommended stool softener brand. It's been gently softening up hard cases for over 60 years. So next time you're up against occasional constipation, remember Colace and feel the difference a little softness can make.
A new angle, a new twist, a new opinion. Bowling, Tiff and Williams are putting a new spin on news coverage. The Fox News Specialists premiering Monday at 5.
These are more important. Point, look, twist, choke, punch, snap.
Communicating, working on the clock and off. And just like you.
I'm gonna get juice.
Which is why we're determined to deliver at more bandwidth and faster internet speeds. That's who we are. Spectrum.
I'm on the go a lot, and it's just really simple and easy to get a hold of anybody here at Mercedes-Benz Beach.
Our guests can contact us any way they choose.
It was really easy for me to find the car that I love. I mean, I
What is it all about? Getting one of these videos to go viral. I've had some amazing stuff. Getting people to watch it's a whole other story. We know why everybody on TV is repeating. That doesn't impress anyone.
We have over 700 cars and trucks in our 5-story parking structure. Entering Toyota's leading away sales event, get a $2,500
So far, anyway, maybe I'm presenting the wrong audience.
only $149 a month on a new 2017 Camry SE. The sun, surge, savings, and easy financing are all at the beach. So head to the beach. Toyota Huntington Beach at Beach in Garfield.
Lexus of Westminster has been passionately pursuing a world-class ownership experience for over 25 years, always putting service first. Selection, value, integrity is our passion. That's why Lexus of Westminster has been awarded the
I've been showing that for years.
only the best of the best. Right now, get a 2017 Lexus RX 350.
Oh, that'll work, but I had one person
Lexus of Westminster.
so much as even comment on the fact that they're doing it.
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania tonight, reaching out in a state that really was the first sign that there was a big upset in the making election night. So he'll be skipping out on something that most presidents, in fact everyone since Ronald Reagan back in 1981, and he had a good excuse, have been a part of. That is the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Now Ronald Reagan was shot just a month before, so again, a good excuse not to be attending this confab with, hoity-toity journalists and all that stuff. I don't know how Joe Piscopo would handle that if he were President of the United States. For a few laughs, he probably would go to that dinner, but he joins me right now. What do you think, Joseph, about President more or less saying, this big affair tonight, I'm not going to that one?
Due respect to the press corps, who I love, I really do have immense respect for the journalists. I think it's great when
Joe Piscopo is showing the love
boom,
to the press corps.
to the people going to
Boom.
people that got him elected.
It froze.
If you saw in 2011, I think you folks know Donald Trump was there, Barack Obama was there.
Yes.
Did you Donald Trump went to
I think that's when he decided.
Bingo. And he's not even Italian. I thought for sure. I said, he's going after them. But I'm watching Donald Trump. He's got some Italian blood because he was seething.
Well, he had every right to see. I mean, I could see a joke or two, but the president at the time was nonstop.
So, and from that, and he
hates journalists.
Yeah. Well, I don't understand because I keep it as we foray into New Jersey politics, maybe for the good of the people of the state. You have to keep the journalists close because they know the issues better than the politicians ever will.
You must have.
No, I love them. And but I think it's great that he went there. He's going to Pennsylvania. Who thought that Donald Trump
worried as a guy who could run for governor of a foreign state? I should say I'm from New Jersey as well. Joe is well regarded in New Jersey. Do you ever worry, given the president's weak poll numbers, that this populist wave is actually going to go against you? That the novelty of having someone like you be governor is hurt by the fact that the president's approval numbers are so low?
Yeah, that's a great question. It will, because they always say that. Everybody's been great. The press has been great. I've been utilizing my friends in the press.
And you lost New Jersey by a lot.
Not too. I think he got like 42% or something like that. And you'll be surprised how many supporters of Donald Trump there are in Jersey. But your point is well taken because it's a very democratic
state.
So
does that hurt an unconventional guy like you?
Yeah. Well, if I go in as an independent, I think it helps, but they do tell me this. One journalist did go after it. Oh, you're a Trump guy. You're a Trump guy. You're a Trumpster. It's like, will you stop with that? You got to put the divide aside. They're doing this 100-day thing. Imagine if you and I, in our first 100 days in our job.
Joe, I mean, the president started it, and Gettysburg outlined a 100-day agenda, so you might not like it now, but he did.
But I keep thinking, if I'm on the radio going to my 4th year, what if they gave me 90 days? What if they gave me 100 days?
That was your original contract. I mean, 90 days.
Oh, you're out, Biscuit. That's it. I said
that. One thing too, real quick, Bud Heedle, who wants to run for mayor in New York. Yeah. Republicans were looking at maybe putting him on their ticket. They thought, maybe not. So and now I'm looking at what's happening in France, where the populist candidate might lose. Yeah. So I'm wondering if the pendulum is shifting.
No, I don't think we've seen the populist movement yet. I think it's just starting. It's time for the citizen politician.
Even Christie, in his poor performance, in the poll numbers, also hurts. He was a maverick candidate in the beginning.
I told you, I got it. I went back and forth with the governor. I went at it with her because I had a traffic jam outside my house. It was like, only kidding, just a little joke.
All right.
Let's put the divide aside, put the hate aside,
for the good of America,
for the good of the people of the
Joe Piscopo, thank you. We'll have a lot more after this. The latest from Washington.
When you have a digital notebook to capture investing ideas that instantly gives you stock prices, earnings, and dividends, an equity summary score that consolidates the stock ratings of top analysts into a single score, and $4.95 online U.S. equity trades, you realize the smartest investing idea isn't just what you invest in, but who you invest with.
Since 1906, the Fuller Brush Company has been bringing our quality products direct to your door. Hi, I'm John Florell, the Fuller Brush Man, knocking on your screen to bring you the best products you've ever seen. Introducing RotoSweep, the hard floor sweeper from the Fuller Brush Company. It's a rotating broom with its own dustpan that puts the power to clean up any mess right in the palm of your hand. Now you can safely clean tile, marble, linoleum, or any hardwood floors with no scuffing or scratching. Look, you wouldn't break out your big vacuum just to clean up this little mess. And why is it when you sweep by hand, you never get all the dirt into the pan? With no cords, bags, or batteries to recharge, as RotoSweep rolls across the floor, it gobbles up more and more. Whether it's wet or dry, you gotta give this a try. The secret are the triple rotating brushes that loosen, lift, and channel the dirt and debris right into the envelope. It comes with an easy empty door and a fold flat handle, which allows you to clean under your furniture. And with RotoSweep's unique edge cleaning technology, it reaches in and under to clean baseboards, walls, and toe kicks. Plus,
so after 4 years of doing this, and 0 results, it's very easy to battle a mind that says it's not what's going to be different this time.